Hi, Hannah here. I got this vintage dresser from the Nextdoor app for free. The guy just wanted someone to get this out the way. It has a lot of scratches and dings and some damage and stuff like that. It is a very solid wood piece, wood handles. I mean, every piece of this is wood, so I'm like, I can just sand it down without worrying about any veneer. These handles was not the cutest, but I wanted to save them to put them back on to just kind of restore it. Definitely want to just redo it and not have to put any paint on it. That was my goal. The piece is filthy. It's just been on someone's porch, so I have a lot of cleaning to do. Went from their porch to my porch, and now I decided it was a good time to clean it. Normally, if it's not filthy and I'm sanding it, I would wait to clean it. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen any of my stuff, it would be good if you subscribe. That way you can check out my uploads and see what I'm doing. I'm trying to put out this good content for you with me and my DIYs. So hopefully you'll join me next time. This dresser, it took a lot of work cleaning. I'm going to tell you that right now. We show some cleaning when we do these things, and we have to kind of fast forward through it. But it's a lot of work, you know, especially this one. It had a lot of just dirt and crud that you just want to get off of it. And I knew I eventually want to bring it in the house, so I had to give it a good cleaning. And so every little piece has been cleaned out and it's almost dry. The top of it is dry because I did it first. So I'm kind of anxious and I want to see what the dresser looks like underneath all of this. So I'm going to sand it that day, and just see what I'm working with, because I really want to be able to show some wood and plan out what I'm doing to these pieces. So that's why I needed to do my little sanding and just see what's there. There's a crack, and here's like a few little things. I just want to see if the wood grain looks pretty good. I am very happy to know that it's not a difficult piece to sand. Sometimes you can be sanding something and it's just a struggle. I'm actually using 100 grit for this one. This is where I discovered some damage that I wasn't happy about. Looks like something penetrated the piece. But all I can do is just keep sanding everything. And since it's nice solid wood with dovetails, I decided to just clean up the entire drawer. So I moved into the basement so that I just like to move into the basement sometimes. The weather affects me. A lot of times I gotta go inside. You see those two little knots in there. I don't know why I started sanding before I removed them, because they need to come out. Here I'm using some mineral spirits. I know this was basically a waste of time. I know it's supposed to remove paint and stain, but I just figured, let me see if it do anything. If it would have done something slightly, I might have tried to work with it a little bit more, but I can see that it was a waste of time. The drawers, the top two drawers, I wanted to try this Restor inside of this oak color, because I know that part of the piece will have to be darker, and I just want to see if there's any way I could leave some of the piece not as dark. I just love a two-tone look. Even if I'm painting it, leaving some stain, I can't imagine just painting it and not having some of this wood showing. I mean, it's wood. I usually paint laminate, but oh my goodness, it's wood. You've got to show some of this. Now, I'm still decided to try to put this particular Restor thing on the top of the dresser. I know that the instructions on the label, it says that it can help white rings but not dark rings, but I just wanted to see what it looked like with this on here, and if it's anything I can do to blend it, because I really want it to not be a super dark color. But there we go. Then I had my markers, which was not helpful. I'm just learning how to use them. So I realized that if it was lighter, I can do something about it. And so now I've gotten over all of that, and this is black stain. I know that the black stain is not like black paint, and it's going to be somewhat transparent. And that's what I want. I want to be able to see the wood. Just that with stain, it's unpredictable. It's very unpredictable. You will see. I try to let this sit for 5 minutes, and maybe if I would have let it sit for 10 minutes, I would have had more results. This right here, I probably let it sit for like not even 5 minutes, but then I said, let me just let it sit longer because I don't mind it getting really dark. But the thing is, you never know how the stain is going to adhere. I will not lie to you. I did not use a conditioner, which would have helped if I would have did like a pre-stain conditioner. Wasn't even thinking about it. I do have a water-based one, but I didn't use it. Usually, if the piece was smaller, I probably would have thought about it, or I don't know. Didn't even think about it until this moment when I'm recording this. And this is what it looked like. And I was very nervous because I was like, what is going on? Do I have to paint this? So I just went back through and just add more stain to the areas that looked like they weren't affected as much. And so when I got it to how I wanted it, I kind of moved on to a different part of the dresser and started working on that. Just letting stains sit certain places. I started with the top, and so, yeah. I must say this bottom part, the base, was definitely one of the easiest parts to stain. I'm not gonna lie, I love how it looks like paint right now. A part of me wished, oh my goodness, if this was paint, it would look so gorgeous. But I do love to see the wood grain, so I'm trying to like not think about that. See, I love the wood grain showing through. And this black, it seemed more like ebony because I've used ebony before. Sometimes it seemed like it makes it black, and then black sometimes looks sort of ebony. Hopefully you hit that subscribe button. If you did, thanks. If not, think about it. I do want to thank the people who are subscribed, who have been very supportive. I really appreciate you checking out my channel and always saying encouraging words and words of advice, because we got some really good DIYers out there, even though they don't post what they do. They have so much knowledge, and I just hope that I can help somebody and maybe they can help me. Of course, I've given up on the top and decided to stain it. I was hoping I didn't have to make it so dark, and so I did half of it, and I tried to see how much did it need to stay on to cover the part, but then I figured like I don't have like a stain in between. I think I have a little bit of ebony and I had black, so I'm like, just go ahead on and just stain it all. So this is me playing around with it, but then I know that I'm going to have to just stain it black. Yeah, I had to put another coat on there because I tried to put it on and take it off, and I saw that it was still showing. And I noticed how I let it sit longer in the part in front, and it gave a nice deeper color. So I'm going to have to add more stain on the other half. And so I got the drawers all taped off because I want very little cleanup. Like whenever I see a drip or different things like that, it's just something I have to fix. So it's best to get everything in the right position, make sure the tape is off of it, and just being a little more careful. You see I'm speeding it up, but I'm trying to be careful. And I don't think you see it, but I worked on like one dresser at a time, one dresser drawer at a time. I stained it and then I sat it aside and then pulled the other one closer to me and stained it, because I don't have a lot of space there, but I just want to make sure that I can actually have it close to me and get it done correctly. Because it is an oil base, I do go through a lot more cloths with that. And so I'm showing you the wood handles. I decided to kind of sand it a little bit. They looked a little bit beat up, and I just wanted to kind of clean them off slightly before I spray them. I considered staining them, but hey, black spray paint will look great. Plus, I think with the dresser being dark, the handles would be like a little bit darker, and I just kind of like that. At least in my mind, it sounds good. It sounds good in my mind to do it that way. So now I'm all set, ready to spray. I usually open the window, spray them, and then just get out of the area. This spray, it takes a lot because you do one angle and then you come back in a couple of hours, or you come back the next morning and you turn it and do another angle. And it's fast, but not really. And so I moved on to do the top coat on these pieces. And I always use like my laundry cups. I use those, and I have these throwaway sponges that I got from Amazon. I have a dozen of them for like $8, and this is what I mainly use them for, to kind of rub on the poly top coat. And you know how the bubbles get, and it's so annoying, but you just gotta stay the course. I usually just get it organized and just make sure I got smooth strokes. Make sure I go all the way to the end, no stopping. I also make sure that there's no gaps in between what I'm doing. No spaces where there's no poly. Just get every piece. Sometimes it looks a little white, a little milky. As long as it's not too extreme, it does go away. I'm showing you what I do for the top coat, but I do put another coat on it, which normally I just don't show both coats online, but I definitely had to put a second coat on it, because even though you feel like you've gotten every area, it's always best to just do another coat just to make sure that everything is completely covered. Before I put the top coat on, I did consult with about 2 people who I know love like things stained. Like, they detest painting furniture. They would never paint wood furniture because I felt like the stain wasn't all even and smooth and perfect, and I just felt like, would someone want this? Did I do the right thing by staining it? And they confirmed that they still seem to like it, even though the stain wasn't perfectly even on the piece. But I would want to know what people think, if you feel like there was something else I could have done, and if the stain should have been like just maybe not done, maybe painted because you don't think the stain looks good. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. I am almost to the end. This is the last piece, but just I want you to see me completely do that right. So please stand by. This is a reminder of what the dresser looked like when I first got it. And this is the finished piece. So let me know what you think, if I made the right choices for the dresser. I did leave the top drawers light. I wanted the top to be light too, but this is what I have.